pitching coach Wellington Cepeda. That's a good meeting. He comes out, Sanchez settles down, and they're able to navigate that inning. And now it's up to Ketel Marte and company to get that run back, if not more.
Made a lot of adjustments in that inning. Not too many fastballs from Sanchez.
Marte, fair ball down the right field line. Tatis on his way to third. How far will he go? It gets stuck in the corner, and Tatis will score easily. Ketel Marte ties it up.
pitching coach, Sanchez and Wells, the catcher, kind of calming him down. And after that, they made the adjustment to go heavy changeups and heavy sliders, and it worked.
Christian Sandoval takes a strike, and it's 0-2. You know, of course, as a catcher or even as a first baseman, you got an ear in those conversations. What's said in a situation like that when the pitching coach goes out?
First thing, a lot of times, breathe. Slowing him down, take a breather. Then after that, just going into what they want to do, the first pitch of the at-bat. And once they get ahead, how you're going to finish them. A lot of times, you're trying to calm them down, and at the same time, you're trying to let them know what can happen in situations of counts, how aggressive he might be. 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, hitters counts. I think that's why we saw so many adjustments on that changeup and slider.
Able to navigate that first inning, just the one run. They get two back and have a lead. This one looped out toward left field, a base hit for Sandoval.
That's another changeup right there. Sandoval just puts enough on it. We'll take a look at this pitch sequence in the first inning. It was a heavy changeup right there to get ahead. Then after that, he knew, okay, I'm going to expand on this changeup. Let's see how far I can hit this and throw this at the plate. Once he got him swinging on those changeups, he took that changeup for a ball, and then it was the back foot slider. Hadn't seen it the whole at bat, and just put him away.
Early traffic in this inning as well as Freddie Zamora sends one toward the corner in left. That's going to get down and rattle around a bit. Green light around third. No relay throw home. We're tied. Punch and counterpunch for Nicaragua.
We talked about Zamora, takes a fastball, top of the zone right there. University of Miami's finest shortstop they've had out of Nicaragua. Gets this Nicaragua once again on the time mark. Great swing.
Now back to the top of the order, Chase Dawson with a runner at second. Squares to bunt and taps it foul. You didn't think for a second that a team managed by Dusty Baker was going to be intimidated by another team, did you?
No chance. Not only just Dusty, but that whole coaching staff they've got. Randall Simon being the hitting coach.
Corners are up defensively for the Dominican. Dawson squares again and bunted and missed that one. So 0-2.
That's a little bit of the Dusty Baker in him, right? Get that guy over, your 9-hole hitter. You got your lead off. You got to put guys in motion here. Got to be the aggressor.
A very talented and very experienced coaching staff under Dusty Baker. Slap through the left side with a base hit. Holding at third, although a bottle to left field. Now here comes the green light, and here comes another run. Soto bobbled it in left. And Zamora, who stopped. Then Gary Pettis changed his mind, and they've got a 3-2 lead.
It's a little slider right there. Doesn't get it done with the butt. You see a bobble there by Soto. Great call by Pettis, the third base coach. He saw it all the way. Zamora was not able to see that play, the bobble.
Gary Pettis has seen it all a lot of years as a coach and a third base coach. Great adjustment right there, and now another meeting on the mound as they are starting to grow a bit restless. Team Nicaragua, by the way, scored 4 runs in the entire WBC last time. They've already got 3.
Yeah. A lot has to do with the aggressive of Pettis. Always been known to be aggressive as a third base coach. See the one Soto bobble there, but Zamora, he's turning right there. He's picking up Pettis, but that's it. He can't see the play. Guarantee you, Gary Pettis is screaming in his ear, you gotta go.
It's so loud in this building, he'd have been screaming in his ear if they were standing next to each other.
Yeah.
Soto, of course, a lot of years in right in his big league career, but moving over to left field for the New York Mets this year. Although that play, that little miscue, probably not a right field, left field sort of problem, just a miscue, just a mistake. Going outside. So the leadoff man on in both innings for Nicaragua has come in to score in both innings. And they are back in front 3-2.
Alegrías in first at bat took that fastball up the middle. Had himself once again in a hitter's count, and Sanchez goes to that backdoor slider.
10 batters so far, and 7 have reached base. So just as it will be trying to get out of the ballpark tonight with a sellout crowd, a lot of traffic. 2-1 from Sanchez will wait after a check on Dawson at first base. So 3 runs tonight, and that's 10 batters into this WBC. 4 runs total in 2023 over 4 games.
Look at this team from Nicaragua compared to 2023. A lot more talent. Upper level guys, big league guys, sluggers who have done it in the big leagues. They've got some arms as well in the bullpen. They've got some arms in the starting rotation. So much better team than what they've brought in the past.
2-2 from Sanchez, who has already given up 5 hits in, we'll call it the first 2 innings, even though he hasn't completed 2 innings yet. But he's never given up 5 runs in 2 innings in a start in the big leagues. Just like Dusty Baker, perhaps from a different perspective, Albert has seen it all. Line is short. Dawson gets back.
When you talk to Dusty Baker, you get the feeling of, yeah, it could be David and Clive, but we feel like we can punch. We feel like we've got the weapons, the attitude to go out there and surprise some people. And that's what they've done this early part of the game.
Oscar Brazaban beginning to throw in the Dominican bullpen. We talked to all 5 managers of the teams here in Cool Play yesterday. We talked to Brad Osmus, who's managing Team Israel. You think top heavy when it comes to the Dominican and Venezuela. Kingdom of the Netherlands has some talent. They might be right in the middle. Nicaragua, Israel, maybe the underdogs. But Brad Osmus said, and I'm sure Dusty Baker would agree, we don't want to be underdogs. We want to be Cinderellas. Cinderellas win.
That's right.
And there is another hit, and staying up the middle as well. A lot of action up there. 2 on and 1 out. Couple of hits for Munguia.
Couple hits, RBI, left on left against one of the best. 2-seamer at the hand, stays through it. Oh, what a swing. That could be the knockout blow for Sanchez.
A pitching change for the Dominican Republic. And it doesn't have a whole lot to do with the pitch restrictions. Back in a moment.
In the land of Israel, before the Gospels, before the cross, there was David. Journey back to the beginning of a divine legacy and bear witness to one of the greatest stories ever told.
Console, you have nothing to fear from me. Please tell me how to help you.
that first inning. First time we've seen that in the WBC, but Huáscar Brazoban will take over out of the Dominican bullpen. Pitching for the New York Mets now, but used to call this his home ballpark as a member of the Marlins. Signed a minor league deal with them in 2022. Made his debut later that summer.
Loves to throw the sinker. He's got a slider, cutter, but his go-to pitch is the changeup. Against lefties and against righties, it doesn't matter the count. It's his primary pitch.
36 years old, his WBC debut, and facing his Mets teammate, Mark Vientos here.
Mets use him a ton. 63 innings pitched. Doesn't walk a lot of guys and a 227 opponent average, so doesn't get that much hard contact. Vientos knows all of Brazoban.
Swings over the top of that changeup, picks up the strikeout. Well, that is 5 strikeouts. All the outs have been strikeouts.
And I think Albert Pujols, being the manager for the Dominican team, made the right call in going to go get a guy like Brazoban, who's got a great changeup. You look at Sanchez, he got strikeouts with the changeup and the slider. Brazoban has one of the best changeups in all of baseball.
That one to second, going across the body. And there's the ground out. There's a line out in there, too. Not all strikeouts, but 2 more runs for Nicaragua.
Over 250 years ago, we didn't like the taxes, so we dumped the team.
For Austin Wells.
Yeah, you tell me a good catcher. You tell me how quiet he is back there. He certainly did that in the first inning, blocking those baseballs, calling a great adjustment after that mound visit, going to the changeup, going to the slider, and letting his pitcher know, you got to trust me back there. And I think that would eventually, as this tournament goes on, these starting pitchers and these bullpen guys will definitely rely on Wells to be back there and protect the baseball.
He hit second this inning behind Julio Rodriguez, who takes the ball outside, 1-1 to the center fielder for the Dominican Republic, and of course the Seattle Mariners, Wells, whose mom is from the Dominican Republic, eligible to play. He bat second, and then Geraldo Perdomo, number 9 hitter, due up third. That one outside of third and foul. A ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez, 25 years old, his second World Baseball Classic, former Rookie of the Year and a 3-time All-Star.
He's only one of 4 players in MLB history with 100 home runs and 100 stolen bases in the first 4 seasons. I mean, the stuff this guy has done while covering a ton of ground in Safeco Field in Seattle. 32 home runs last year, 30 stolen bases to go with that, his first 30-30 season. I talked to him earlier in spring training this year. He wants to kind of up the bar a little bit with that mark.
Strike 3. To an elevated sinker. A little two-seam movement there, and a strikeout for Medrano.
That's that two-seamer, and that's his go-to pitch. Medrano loves his two-seamer. We saw it in that South Africa qualifier with Nicaragua. He threw about 62 sinkers out of the 75 pitches he threw, so it's a lot of sinkers coming at you.
Now the aforementioned Austin Wells takes down an in, 26 years old, his first WBC. The Yankee catcher with 21 home runs and 71 RBIs last summer. And he might be, again, looking at the Dominican lineup, we just had Julio Rodriguez there, didn't have time to say it in that at-bat, but it's like, Julio hit the 7th, my goodness. Austin Wells may be one of those bottom of the order type of guys, maybe because the Yankee lineup is so loaded too. But you think of a lineup in a roster that the Dominican has, you have 9 or 10 3-hitters, right? But only one guy can hit third, so you have to spread it out.
Yeah. And for a time, Wells was hitting 4th behind Judge. That World Series the Yankees went to. But, yeah, I'm with you. I think he's more of a 6th, 7th, 8th hole hitter guy. Especially on a lineup like this.
Yeah. Ahead in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Wrinkle with the curveball to run it full. And again, for the Dominican, trying to do something that they've only done once, win a WBC, but get far into this tournament. They didn't advance on a pool play last time. They've put the emphasis on building team more than all-star team. And Medrano with back-to-back strikeouts in this second inning.
Slow you down, speed you up, slow you down once again for the strikeout. I mean, this is what he's done right now. And as this game goes on, we'll take a look at this changeup here. Well executed, knee high. Falls onto the table. The more they get clean innings from Nicaragua, the more Nicaragua is going to start feeling better about themselves and having a chance to win a ballgame.
Perdomo takes a strike at the bottom of the zone. Diamondbacks shortstop. And even 20 and 100 last year. Takes the ball in the dirt. Again, quick update on pitch restrictions. First round at 65 pitches. We asked Dusty Baker, okay, how many can he go? And he said, as many as he's effective for. And he's been effective. Did give up a couple of runs in that first inning. But with a team like this, 2 is, you can survive 2.
Yeah. A very thin bullpen for Nicaragua.
Two and 1 to Perdomo. Just seems like everything moves.
Everything's moving.
Perdomo, one of the few players that have more walks than strikeouts last year. It's even, 2 balls and 2 strikes for 2 outs. Lifted foul.
Perdomo calls himself a frogman. He said in an interview after he won a game that blood is like a frog, cold-blooded.
Love it. Does not lack confidence. Just in off the plate.
I would think the changeup's in play here. It was in play for Wells on 3 3-2. I think it will be in play for Perdomo as well. Just missed inside, but he's thrown everything right now.
That one tap foul. Mentioned it in the opener. We'll sprinkle it in as we go along throughout pool play here just to refresh you. When it comes to major league rules, using the bigger bases, using the pitcher challenges, the pitch clock as well, but not the automated ball strike system that's being implemented in Major League Baseball this summer. I mentioned that off the close pitch a moment ago. 3-2. Just a little bit low. And a good eye for Perdomo to keep the inning alive. Flip the lineup card over for Fernando Tatis Jr.
Well, in the first two exhibition games they played in Santo Domingo, they had Julio Rodriguez hitting ninth. Today, they're going to go with Perdomo. Why? You flip the order and you've got speed. Speed everywhere, and I would think Perdomo will be aggressive at some point in this at-bat.
Tatis, a singular run scored his first time as they check on Perdomo at first base. Set the table nicely in the first. Dominican got back on top. Nicaragua a couple of runs in the top of this inning to retake the lead.
Tatis with a scorching single in his first at-bat. Two-seamer in on the hands. Biggest things for Fernando, ability to play 150 games. The goal was that play every day. I think this year, having 150 games underneath him, now he can go and kind of be the Fernando Tatis we've seen. Power, the great elite defense he brings to right field.
Two balls and one strike. Perdomo goes. Throw down to second. Gets into center field. Perdomo up on his way to third. Here comes the throw. A little bit late. So Perdomo and the Dominican put a little pressure on Novoa and the defense and create a little something here with 2 outs.
It was a matter of time, Paul. You have to use the wheels when you have there a huge lead, huge jump. I love once he goes head first, his head pops right up to understand where that ball's at, taking on that extra base.
Tatis, a .308 hitter with runners in scoring position and 2 outs last year for San Diego, taps that one foul.
And the reason I say you got to put the motions in with Perdomo is because once he gets to third now, the infield singles in play. We've got wheels with Tatis, we've got wheels with Perdomo. Any high chopper, any bobble, it's a run and a hit. That's not too fun. Not too much fun when you get hit.
The fact that everyone is smiling and laughing, I have a feeling I know what happened. Never been a catcher, but I understand.
You don't want to be a catcher, huh?
No, no. You know what? I don't think you want me to be a catcher.
No, I'm good.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a 3-2 game here in the home half of the second. A little bit high. And after back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning, back-to-back walks to keep the line moving.
I think this is really good pitching. Kind of breathe and take it all in. It's 2 outs. You're 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. Marte really handled that 2-seamer at the top of the zone early on, jumping on that first pitch for a double. The problem is you have, again, first base open, right? There's a big hole at first base because of the runner on first base. So, got to be very careful how you pitch to Marte here.
Saw pitching coach Lenny Pagoda come out through a no-hitter for Nicaragua back in the day. 22 seasons around the globe in a pro career. Which is all to say Dusty Baker put in a lot of thought as to who he wanted to surround himself with to help Nicaragua win a game and then some in the World Baseball Classic. Here is Ketel Marte. RBI double his first time up.
I think that would be the approach by Medrano. Everything down and away. Everything's got to fade away from his barrel.
First and third. And a little off the plate. Now getting that pitch count up toward 40.
As the at-bat goes, you're seeing Marte creeping in more into home plate. He is on top of the plate. Very good hit there. I've always said for the best sequence is that slider curveball to a changeup after that.
Up there with some of the game's best, Ketel Marte takes one out of the corner, and you can make a case that looking across Major League Baseball, the best first baseman, the best second baseman, Vlad Guerrero, Ketel Marte are on this roster. They are looking for Ketel to come through again. Check out Tatis. Two strikeouts, then two walks. There was a stolen base and an error mixed in there too. So first and third, and a 2-2 on the way, missing low. So that will release Tatis from first base with a full count and 2 outs. We already know he is like lightning over there when he runs to begin with.
Many pitches in play, 3-2 count with Medrano pitching.
Here it comes. And we'll do it again. Now, after getting the first 2 outs of this inning, beyond that, Medrano has thrown 20 more pitches. So give credit to the Dominican Republic boosting that pitch count. As you mentioned before, maybe that bullpen a little thin for Nicaragua, so the quicker you can get into it, the better if you're the Dominican squad. Again, a 3-2. Lifted left side toward the seats. Vientos gives it a look. And maybe 3 rows in. Big hit in the first for Ketel Marte.
It was that fastball at the top of the zone. He was all over it. Once that ball was hit, Tatis knew he was going to be able to score easily. That's what Ketel Marte does. I'm intrigued here with Medrano. He's throwing him back-to-back fastballs. He's got him in swing mode. Be interesting if he throws a third one.
45th pitch of the night. 3 strikeouts in the inning, strands a couple of runners, and protects the 3-2 lead.
Thinking of updating my kitchen? Yeah? Yes. This year, we are finally updating our kitchen. Doing subway tile and an ivory or eggshell. Cream, maybe bone. Don't get me started on quartz.
we got the last 2 outs of the second is back out there to work, and a first pitch strike to Trujillo, then Novoa and Sandoval, as Nicaragua has a 3-2 lead early on. Paul Severino, Yonder Alonso, rest of our tremendous crew here in Miami. Day 1 of pool play. Broken back roller to Machado. And he makes the play one down.
The hardest thing to do for a relief pitcher is go out there, get your out, finish the inning, go back down and sit down in the dugout and then go back out. Well, he's answered the bell with the first batter. A two-seamer at the hands, broken bat to Manny. Now he can get in the groove once again, but those quick outs are going to be huge for the Dominican team. They need to try to cover 6 more innings.
Yeah, they probably hope to get a bit more out of Christopher Sanchez. Just an inning and a third. Here's a bouncer right side. Brazaban will take it himself.
2 pitches, 4 pitches, 2 outs, 2 pitches in the previous at bat, and now 2 more pitches to Sandoval. So
that soft contact both times as Albert Pujols looks on. There is Sandoval, single and a run scored his first time up. Takes a strike. Talked about the pitch restrictions, but also looking at schedules too. The Dominican can basically empty the bucket tonight. They're off tomorrow.
Correct.
So they have that time to rest and recoup. And they'll play a couple of day games. And they have another off day before the pool play finale against Venezuela. So a team like Nicaragua is going to play 4 in a row starting tonight. Team like Israel going to play 4 in a row starting tomorrow. You look at how the schedule breaks down, it's a little bit like the postseason and how you can rest or empty your bullpen.
one thing you talk about Albert, he is very excited about his starting rotation. One of the keys they really focused on was who was going to be in that bullpen. 14 guys out of the bullpen for the Dominican team. So they've got an armory of hard throwers from the right side, hard throwers from the left side.
Yeah, it's a lot of thought went into building this team, and certainly a credit to Albert Pujols and the GM Nelson Cruz. This one fouled back.
And when they built this roster, it was obviously the starting pitching was the first thing they talked about. The second thing they talked about was the bullpen.
And with those restrictions, 65 in the first round, 80 in the quarterfinals, 95 in the semis and the finals, that all runs parallel with where pitchers are in spring training. It becomes really a bullpen type of tournament as Marte makes the play, a 1-2-3 inning for Brazaban.
Then I realized the more you bundle, the more you save on insurance with Liberty Liberty.
the key early on, and then he's got to with the changeup. He's thrown it in all counts. He's finished guys lately at bat 3-2. You take a look here with all the outs he's had. The changeup has been the key. Coming in, we thought he was going to throw a lot more sinkers, Paul. It's been sinkers, it's been slider usage, and it's been changeups. Even when in hitters' counts you expect the sinker, the changeup has been his key.
Threw a lot of pitches in that second inning, 33 to get that pitch count now at 46 after ball one to Juan Soto. 3 strikeouts in an inning, done in 2023 WBC. But with that and the walks, no contact, no balls in play in that second inning. And you figure a guy like Soto is going to be right at the forefront of boosting that pitch count even more. 1 ball and 1 strike. Soto fouls it back. Ground out to second, his first time up.
Talking to Soto yesterday in practice, asked him, where do you like to hit the baseball? Where do you feel you're the most locked in? Always tries to play catch with left center. That's his go-to. If he's hitting the ball to left center, if he's staying behind the baseball left center, then he's able to pull the ball in the air for more consistency.
It feels like every player has that. When they're not going right, when you see a ball go, in that case, to left center field, they okay, he's going to come back around.
Yeah.
2-2 from Medrano. Grounded foul.
And every great hitter has a key, and it's very subtle, it's very small. You look at Soto and the way he's able to swing at the right pitches consistently. That's the reason why he's so consistent at hitting the right pitches, barreling balls to left center or right center. His mind is just on another level when he's on top of that plate.
Grounds it foul. Mentioned the pitch restrictions, by the way, of the 65 and then the 80 and the 95. But another layer to the restrictions is the usage within that. And we showed you 50 or more, you need 4 days rest. You just hit 50, probably would start once and move on from there. But then if you throw 30 or more pitches, you need a day of rest. If you throw consecutive days, you need a day of rest.
This is where the at-bat here becomes interesting, right? He's thrown a lot of changeups, 3-2 and 3-2 counts.
Payoff pitch to Soto. Towards center, down for a base hit. In front of Munguia, the leadoff man is aboard for the Dominican Republic.
Well, took a 3-2 count. Got a little hanging curveball. Soto just stays through it. Top of the zone. Gets that foot down early. Stays connected. Love the two-hand finish. I think if you're Nicaragua, you're just happy for a base hit.
90 feet.
90 feet. That's right.
Keep them to 90 feet. They'll try to do the same thing here or less for Vlad Guerrero Jr. On the corner for a strike. Vlad, of course, a huge year last year with the Toronto Blue Jays, taking them to the pennant, the World Series, on the doorstep of a championship as well, where the Dodgers went back-to-back. In the air, shallow right, Sandoval, long run, able to close in and make the play. That ball was up in the air for a long time. Gave Sandoval a chance to close for the first down.
He got away with that right there, but you're looking at Sandoval coming in strong. That play is all his. Up the middle, they're playing two depth, trying to play that double play. First base is covering Soto. It's all his play.
Now Manny Machado. First to check on the runner at first base. We've talked about it throughout the day and will throughout this entire tournament, but especially with the teams in this pool, each team kind of has that hometown feel. And of course, the Dominican Republic, a lot of fans here. Miami home to about 120,000 Dominican Americans. And Manny Machado, born essentially right up the road in Hialeah, down here in South Florida.
wanted to represent his country for his family, his grandfather, his mother, sister,
His brother-in-law. Well, if you see him, say hi.
I will try. You talk to Manny about hitting. He's always concerned about the 1-1 counts. Trying to win the 1-1 counts. So far, Ronald Medrano has done a fine job winning those 1-1 counts.
Tapper outside of third. So now all pools are underway, including in Houston, where Team USA is playing. And Aaron Judge, shocking, has homered in the first inning for Team USA. Team USA and this Dominican team, Team Japan, who had a early termination win earlier today. Those probably the, on paper, three favorites of this tournament. Dominican down to run in their opener here in the last of the third. Machado loops it to left, sinking, and a diving play by Dawson in left. And he takes a big risk. If that gets down, it's a track meet. Instead, he makes a terrific defensive play.
Yeah, just a hanging slider a little bit off the end of the bat. Dawson's playing extremely back. Had a really good play right there, diving head first. Getting up quickly so Soto doesn't advance.
2 away for Junior Caminero.
Something we saw WBC, when you put the Dominican guys kind of on the ropes a little bit, you start seeing a little bit of the unbalancing, right? Trying to do a little too much. A lot of balls off the end of the bat. A lot of lazy fly balls. That's one thing they try to adjust, right? Is hand it over. If it's not that person hitting, it's handed over to the guy behind you.
Right now, a guy with 45 home runs last year, Junior Caminero, will wait a little longer on an 0-2 pitch as they check on Soto.
Caminero has looked really good in camp. Went 6 for 6 in the exhibition games, both exhibition games.
Ground ball, sneaks through a base hit. Soto will stop at second base. I'm glad he got that base hit because he hit twice with 2 outs. It's hard to get into it, but he's one of those guys that doesn't get maybe enough credit on this team.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the clubhouse is booming with Caminero and the fans that he's created with his teammates. They love everything about this guy. They think he's going to be extremely special. 40-plus home runs. We're going to see that for a long time. One of the quickest bat speeds in all of baseball. When you have bat to ball skill with high exit velo, that's usually what you get, those ground balls that just get through.
But 45 home runs, second most in baseball history by a player in their age 21 season or younger. Only Eddie Matthews, who had 47 in 1953, was better. What a year it was. And at 63 pitches, this, for all intents and purposes, will be the last pitcher for Medrano. And maybe that's what that mound visit was about. Like, hey, you're going to get to 65. You can't finish the batter, but let it all out there. That's a base hit up the middle for Julio Rodriguez. Throw goes to third in their safety. Caminero, Soto scores in front of him, and it's a 3-3 game.
Well, we talked earlier on, right? The three guys in the outfield with Soto, Tatis, the guy we talked about as well, Julio Rodriguez. Little hanging cutter, hanging slider, doesn't try to do too much. Stays through it.
Vale, cuando él se cree que corre, cuando le deja ahí,
Brings in his right-hand man, Juan Soto.
And a pitching change for Nicaragua.
Saturday, we've got a huge Big East regular season finale